Recently, I've been asking in a number of these programs, why does God permit wars? Why does God permit so much suffering in the world today?
God took the man and the woman that he had created, put them in the Garden of Eden. And before them, in the midst of the Garden of Eden, were two trees. One was the tree of life. If they took that, they would receive eternal life. The tree of death, then, was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If man took to himself the knowledge of good and evil, of right from wrong, man decided he was sufficient unto himself, and he took of the knowledge of good and evil and has tried ever since to decide good and evil, spiritual knowledge. And he was not created with the capacity of acquiring spiritual knowledge. He could deal with things, but not with people or with God.
God has mapped out 7,000 years to accomplish that purpose, 6,000 years in which God himself is keeping hands off and allowing the human family to do what it pleases. God has revealed to the human family the way to peace, the way to prosperity and to happiness, and not only world peace, but peace within your own self. God has allowed man to live his own way. And so the reason that we have these things is because man has rejected the way of God. Now it was in such a world that God sent his only Son, and Jesus Christ came with a message, and his message was the way out of all this suffering. It was the way to peace. We don't know the way of peace, and when God shows it to us, we won't have it. Now, the first 6,000 years of this 7,000 years that God has mapped out, my friends, God is allowing man to go his own way. And man has never chosen to go the way of God. Man has never believed that the way of peace was the right way or the way of prosperity. Man has gone the way of inequality, too much for some and too much poverty for too many others. Man has gone the way of sickness and disease. Man has gone the way of war and of strife and of fear and of worry and of empty lives and everything that we have. And so that's what we have, and here we are. Now, Jesus pointed the other way, and it's a voluntary matter. You can have whichever way you want in your own life. Now, the 7,000 years, which is just now almost ready to dawn, God is going to send Jesus Christ again, and when he comes again, he's not coming just to point the way and let us do what we please. When he comes again, he's coming to sit on his throne, the throne of his father David, and to take over that throne and to reign and to rule the nations with a rod of iron. And then, so far as government concerns and organization over our lives, the way of God that is the way of peace and the way to happiness and the way to prosperity, good health, to everything we want. And you know, mankind is going to fight against it when Jesus comes. They're going to try again to reject that way because the carnal mind is enmity against God. Yes, it is antagonistic to God, and somehow or other it seems to think God is wrong. And so men will resist, and men will again try to fight against the way of God. But God will rule through his kingdom.
Never before understood why humanity cannot solve its evils. Why do we have wars? Why do we have so much trouble in the world? Why is there so much crime? Why all of these things in the world? Why do we have this thing we call human nature? Did God create us with a nature to do wrong? No, he did not. Well, where did human nature come from? Those things are mysteries, and let me tell you, most people don't understand them.
Subscribe to this channel for upcoming Herbert W. Armstrong content.